And we're live. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special, big up, shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to the entrepreneurs, stay-at-home moms and pops, the retirees. Shout out to the drivers, the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to law enforcement personnel. Shout out to medical field personnel. Shout out to military personnel. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. Two special shout-outs. Shout-out to the AC people, them, and shout-out to the crossing guards, right? Big up yourself and thank you for being here this morning. Shout out to the first person in this morning on this live, and that is Seymour. Seymour, thank you for being the first one in. SRN Odetta was right there, and Nature's Motivation, was right there as well. Candle Flame 101 is in the building. King Biggs is here with us as well. Audrey Wright's in the building. Says morning, fam and present teacher. Wayne Nathan is here. Main one is here. Crystal G is here. Mr. Article Dodd. Senior Sexy. Brahmo Wright's in the building this morning. Debbie Jervis is here. Miss Goldie Robinson is with us this morning. Michelle Howell is here. Karen Notice says, good morning, SouFLo and the family and everyone tuning in. Enough blessings to all. Up, up, up. Oh, I have on my up shirt this morning as well, right? And that means wake up, wise up, and rise up. Early in the morning, yeah. 5-6-3 is in the building, says afternoon, SouFLo and everyone else on this platform all the way from England. From you, I say afternoon and it's morning for us. We know say you're in one of those regions. Big up yourself, family. Rojani, thank you. I appreciate that greatly, family. Dorothy T, big up yourself. Sharon Spence is here. BM, Lady J, Erica Senior is here this morning. June O'Brien. Charma D Star, I haven't seen you in a while, or maybe I haven't been paying attention. Thank you for being here. Lisa Watkins, Sean Cassell, thank you for being here as well. And Lil Red Gucci too, good morning to you. And thank you for being here as well. Hey, we got a lot of things to talk about this morning. There's so much going on right now. Jeez. I don't know if y'all see the video I put up this morning about the nail technician, female, that was apprehended and has been charged in a double murder, which is a triple murder situation that happened in Jamaica like a few days ago. I'm thinking people are wilding out and crashing out. And it's some young people too, like 20-something years old. Yo, 20 years old, 20-something years old. I was trying to have fun, but I wasn't trying to get into anything that was going to send me to prison for the rest of my life. It's 20-something years old, I started realizing how good life could really be. But it looked like they're just throwing their lives away at 20-something years old. Like, hey, I'm 20-something. Send me to prison for the next 45 to 55 years. For what? But anyhow, what we have on the table this morning for the live show is, you know, the whole SSL situation in Jamaica. I don't know if most of you don't know. Of course, I'm going to catch you up because that's what I do. All right. So Usain Bolt, among many others, were fleeced out of a whole lot of money. Usain Bolt alone, his tab of how much they got him for was over 2 billion Jamaican dollars, which amounted to a couple of millions of US dollars, right? So it's a big fraud scheme. And the lady who they threw under the bus, Jean Ann Panton, she made that full confession that said that she stole people's money, whatever. There's an update to her confession because Jean Ann Panton, remember we said there's no way that this woman did all this by herself? Okay. Jean Ann Panton now alleges that SSL founder made an offer for her to do that fraud confession. This is a touchy subject because these people are powerful financially. And, you know, classism and these kind of things in Jamaica and Jamaica society, how it's ran, you know, if you're light, you know, you might be able to fight. If you're black, get back kind of thing. This person is one of the light ones. And them have a whole heap of money. And there's been a whole lot of cease and desist going around and a whole lot of lawsuit and shut up and don't call our name anymore going around. So I'm going to be careful how I tiptoe through this one. Sad situation coming out of Guyana. Sad situation coming out of Guyana. There's a 15-year-old girl. Big up to all my Guyanese, by the way. There's a 15-year-old girl who is charged with 19 counts of murder, and the counts are rising. 19 counts of murder, and she's being charged as an adult. So we're going to get into that one as well, because that one is just tragic. That one is all over the American news. I saw it the first day it happened, but you know how I do with the stories. I want more. I don't do breaking news. Oh God, somebody dead. Boom, the end. No, I want the details of what happened. So we got some details, and it's a sad situation. We're also going to talk about Vybz Kartel's health. Vybz Kartel's, reggae dancehall icon, controversial recording artist / star, and he's been incarcerated for quite some time now. 11 years now. We're going on the 11th year of his incarceration, and he's been fighting his case this whole time, saying that he's innocent, right? That's what the justice system is there for. I tune in regularly to a thing called the Innocence Project. So I implore others to tune in as well, because some people are of the mindset that everybody that is convicted and is sent to prison is innocent. Is guilty. And after that, we don't want to hear anything else from you, when the Innocence Project proves over and over and over again that there are a lot of people that are wrongly convicted and are doing time. The thing about the Innocence Project is they don't come for you like 1 year into your sentence, 2 years into your sentence. These are people that have very long time behind bars. Some people have a double life sentence. Some people are looking at 75 years, 50 years, 45 years, and they are somewhere in their 15th year behind bars, 25 years behind bars before they are found to be not the person that did it. So I look at that as well, and it keeps my mind open. Not only that, I studied the Vybz Kartel case in and out, up and down. That's why I don't even argue the details with people anymore, right? Because there are some people that follow us around, that they're subscribed to the channel, they tune in on a regular basis, and they say stuff like, SouFLo, I deem you to be an intelligent kind of person. I love your reasoning ability and the way you lay things out and all that. But anytime it comes to Vybz Kartel, it come in like you're just turning out one big idiot. Like, you really think if you rate me that much, and you think I'm that intelligent, he's an analytical person, he's gonna flip it upside down, sideways, every way, spread it out, look upon it properly, pause. Anyhow, if you think I'm that kind of a person, what makes you think that when it comes to that, I just suddenly became a whole different kind of person? I'm still the same person, right? Still the same person. I move off facts only. I don't go off my feelings and hearsay. So the people them who get their spirit get stirred up every time I bring up Vybz Kartel name, and it's like, yo, me I go unsubscribe from you. I can't believe so you're supporting criminals, this, that, and the other. And I'm still thinking to myself, like, 11 years have gone by, and this one person was convicted for this one murder. And in those 11 years, Jamaica has done over 1,000 people murdered. This is murder. This is not, we're not talking about car accidents. We're not talking about death by natural causes, aging out, sickness, all that other stuff. We're talking about just straight murder. Jamaica does comfortably over 1,000 every single year, and has done so for the last 11 years. Some years we've gone up to even 1,600 for the year. Right? So I can comfortably say that over 12, well, not comfortably, but comfortable with the numbers in saying that on average, over 12,000 Jamaicans have been murdered since Vybz Kartel went to prison. But the funny thing is, when I talk about these things, the people who have so much energy when I discuss a Vybz Kartel situation, they're never around when I talk about the other 12,000 plus of Jamaicans murdered each year. So it makes me think, like, are you concerned really about Jamaicans being murdered, or are you just concerned, you're on the bandwagon of Kartel is the murderer? Because if it's up to a lot of them, they would blame him. And some of them actually do blame him for the over 12,000 plus that were killed after he went to prison. But we're going to get into the state of his health. We're not here to discuss his case details because we just don't want to get into it with people who haven't studied the case. And if you think you studied the case better than me, then feel free to call in. You know, I always encourage people to call in and I will rebuttal, and you just, you know, trade back and forth information and let's see who has it right. Because I'm pretty sure I'm all over this one. The other thing we're going to talk about this morning is yeah, that's it. Jean Ann Panton is saying that she didn't take that money by herself, and she's pointing to the founder of SSL, the young lady from Guyana who's facing 19 counts of murder. And I call this the plot to kill Vybz Kartel behind bars, and I'm going to tell you why. I did a video on it, but I think it's worth an open discussion on a live. See? And that's where we're at this morning. Now, whichever one you want to start off with, exactly, Dorothy T, selective rage. Selective rage. People choose to be mad at whatever they want to be mad at, even when everything is in front of them. You know how many times we have discussions over here where we talk about, let's talk about solutions for Jamaica to decrease the murder rate. I never see these people on those videos. Never. When it's important, when we're talking about mental health in our society and the stigma that goes with it, when we're talking about abuse of our children, like a lot of little boys in Jamaica are getting touch up and rape off, and then the explosion of this new homosexual culture within the culture itself, and all these things. When we speak of these things, they're silent. They have nothing to say. Not a suggestion, not a intelligent thought shared, nothing. But mention a Vybz Kartel and the place full. If I had left this chat room open this morning, you would have seen how many people would have showed up with all they had to say, right? Still debating the details of the case. I don't know why my phone is vibrating. I could see the call coming in, but then I can't see it. Like my screen went completely black. I don't know what that is. Maybe I need to restart this thing, which I will do though. So whoever was calling just now, just give me a minute. I'm restarting this little mini computer here that them call phone nowadays. And then we can get on with the phone calls, right? Wherever you want me to start this morning, do you want to start with SSL and what Jean and Panton has said? Do you want to start with Guyana and the 15-year-old girl? Or do you want to start with the Vybz Kartel case? It is up to you. I will sip my lime in warm water as you decide where do I start this morning. And we'll take it from there. SSL, Audrey Wright says SSL, King Big says Guyana. BM says any topic goes. Dorothy T says Seymour will keep her in our prayers. Reggae Girl Bento says SSL. Black Goddess Henry says SSL. Sean Cassell says SSL. Brummel Wright says Guyana. SSL is trending. Virtuous Fire says Guyana as well, 15 years old. Shay says the man from Waterford. Charma D Star says Kartel. 2. SD says I pray for the speedy recovery. Crystal G says get the Guyana one out the way. It seems like it's going to be the Guyana one. Prelis 123 says Guyana. That's about 30 seconds. You have about 30 more seconds to go. Let me sip some of this tea. And get my throat ready. Pause. Again. Yeah, you live in a society now where everything is paused. You have to be careful what you say. Get your throat ready. Why for that? Where I get throat ready for? Why for that? Anyhow, yes, I will keep Shelly in my prayers. Seymour. What's going on with Shelly? I see Donna Davis says I will keep Shelly in my prayers. Brahma Wright says prayers up for Jet Shelly. What's going on with Jet Shelly? Yes, Shay, me I coat my throat. I'm coating my throat. I'm coating my vocal cords. Oh man, she's back in the hospital. All right, jeez. Sucks. That's life. That's life. That's why I encourage everybody every day, man. Get up and live. Try your best to take care of yourself as best as you can. You know, we all have our vices and whatever. Some of we not get enough sleep. Some of we are indulging in unhealthy practices. Some of us are consuming things that are going to kill us one way, somewhere down the road. Some of us are, but try your best to take care of yourself as best as you can. Sickness is for all of us, though. You're human. You live long enough. Sooner or later, something is going to hit you, either in your eyes or in your mouth or in your belly or somewhere in there. But you're human, right? So it's for all of us. So we send our prayers out to her, and we send out some warm vibration of healing to her, right? And keep her in our prayers. Seeing? That's what we can do from here. We can't heal her because we are not God. We can hope that she gets a healing, though. Damn. And Jet Shelly's so sweet, too. And Jet Shelly is always around. That's why every time she's missing, it is noticeable that she is missing because she is always around. For a long time, she was the first one here every morning. As soon as I click on live to go live, so this is how it works. I set the video up, right? Everything behind the scenes. Put in the description, upload the icon, everything, and then you hit a button that says go live. You choose also if you want to let everybody in or if you want to let members in. Somebody do all that. And by the time I hit live, Judge Shelley was always there like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And then she stopped doing it. And then I started hearing about her health slipping. I spoke to her like once or twice off air behind the scenes, checked in on her. At that time, she said she was doing good. But we're hearing she's back in the hospital again. So send out some warm vibrations, friend. Send out some good prayers, right? And keep her in our prayers as we move forward. Seeing? All right. All right. So what we're gonna start. Okay, here it is. This phone is doing all kinds of stuff. Close up. I think it's time for a new phone, I'm the kind of person I will keep the same phone for 10 years. Just if it does what I want it to do, I'm good. I don't run down trends. I don't try to keep up the newest of anything. I'm not that kind of person. So, I don't know. I think it's time for change the phone because I have had it for quite some time. It's probably behind. So let's start out with the... Y'all said y'all wanted to start out with the Guyana or the SSL. Let me see. Go back through these. The Jet Shelly thing threw me off. The Guyana it is. All right. SSL. I'm seeing more SSL than anything else. SSL it is. Okay, so SSL it is. All right. Black Goddess Henry, thank you for being here. Gunner Life, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Life of Android, bro. Yo, NASA. I know too many people that have their big old iPhones and Apple this and Apple that, and they give more problem than anything else. And the videos aren't as good as my Android videos, so I'm an Android person. Come to call, man. I was just about to answer you. Y'all go wait till me start this story, then y'all go jump in. That was a good time to call. All right. So, Gene and Panton, them thief for Usain money, along with a lot of other people's money. Okay, let's take this call. So, live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo.
Good morning, fam. How you doing this morning?
Not too bad. I got some of this show,
All right. Talk to
just pertaining to the morning, by the way, and morning to the viewers,
Yes.
Just want some respect. Pertaining to the Vybz Kartel situation, right?
You have us on speaker. Why you sound so low?
1 second.
Speaker, Bluetooth, something.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah. Jamaican people have this tendency where, when the spirit will take somebody, and we don't even know why the spirit will take them.
Yeah, that's something that we commonly say, not true.
The person not doing nothing.
Yeah, me not like him. And somebody say, why you don't like him? Me don't know, my spirit just not take him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel this is the situation with Vybz Kartel, right? Despite the music we're seeing. Various dance artists in loud music, violent music. Kartel is not different to them, right?
Right.
His image is different.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? His influence is different.
Right.
But when the police commissioner of like a couple years ago, I got said he's the leader of Young.
Yeah,
and
boy.
Responsible for murders. If I got said that in a social, you have to back it up with proof.
Brother, thank you. Thank you. This is while the man's trial was coming down to the end, right? the commissioner of, let me reiterate that part for you. The commissioner of police at the time, Mr. Ellington, he got on national TV in Jamaica. Now you must understand the power of media. You must understand that most Jamaicans are law-abiding, tax-paying citizens, and they listen to people of authority. So if the prime minister or the commissioner of police come on TV and says something, they run with that as gospel, as facts. This man got on TV and I sat there and watched it. And he said, oh, Vybz Kartel? Vybz Kartel is the leader of a gang that is responsible for over 100 murders across the island. And my jaw hit the ground. Because I was like, yo, they got him forever. Because I'm expecting all this proof to come out now, right? Like you say, if you say something like that, you have to be able to back it up, right?
Yeah.
All right. Not even one. Not even one.
Even that. Well, as Jamaican people, we listen to different YouTubers, right?
Right.
And just to give an example, if the police commissioner can say that and get over that, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're a YouTuber or a blogger or a vlogger or whatever, you have to hold yourself to a certain standard in terms of a lot of YouTubers, them run with false information or them put out information first and them things are right because they want to be head of people.
Yep.
And you have certain YouTubers out there, just follow me SouFLo, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you have a lot of YouTubers out there who talk about Vybz Kartel and other artists without evidence. You know, a man will say, oh, if you listen to Kartel song, you'll say, well, me part with Tesha Miller and then ask Tesha to kill a man. You might say that, you know, but where's the evidence? Where's the proof? You can't tarnish people's reputation and name like that without. You're not the law. You're not the judge.
Right.
You know, YouTube vloggers, bloggers, or whatever, they're not the court. They're not the law. You know.
Right.
So when I'm gonna go say something, you have a fraction of Jamaican people who them not really go do research or, you know, get information if have a knowledge about a certain situation. So whatever certain people say, them just run with.
Right, because that's who they tune into on a daily basis.
And when you look in the comment section, when you know Vybz Kartel, you know, when a news media page make a post about it, a lot of people say, "Oh, you must just get there, you must just run in there. This is karma." No, I mean, I say people have their own opinion, you know. But what I'm trying to say is, in the case of Vybz Kartel, a lot of times we see where there was instances where the evidence was tampered with, and it is a fact. You get me? I say,
yeah, that's a fact. That's not only that pass a fact because even the police officer that did it confessed to doing it. Up to today, I'm asking, where is that police officer? Nobody can give me an answer, but he confessed to doing it in court.
Remember we go for the man now, the forensic.
He went for an outside forensic team.
And even those people back up the claim that, you know, evidence was tampered with. You get what I'm saying? Right. And when you have a case where evidence is tampered with, the way the law says is that you basically have to sort out. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And if it's, so you have 5 pieces of evidence and at the whole 5 they tampered with, you don't have a case again.
There you have it.
If you have new evidence can put in, then yes, you know, and the way the law work and the way the court work, you have to have substantial evidence to prosecute people. Then you have a jury who people are tried by. That is the next case of, you know, tampering with, you know, you have the different words for the law, you know. So a lot of people, them look at Vybz Kartel and them look at the case and, you know, they have them preconceived notion of him on the basis that this is what they need to put out of Vybz Kartel, and you get what I say?
Right.
Them say, all right, then wouldn't really business because he's sick or whatever. Pertaining to his health, even though they found him guilty or whatever, as a prisoner, you still have a right to proper health care. And if it's that the man needs surgery, then the man needs surgery or whatever care he needs.
Right. Fox 5 just covered it, right? Did you see it? The coverage on Fox 5?
Yeah, I saw that they covered it.
Okay.
And even back to, we older than me, SouFLo, but I can't remember the name scary. But remember I think I did do this for a couple years ago, way back.
No, yeah.
When he did that.
Who did
that? Father.
Oh, Jim Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, when them bun up Jim Brown in the prison.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know how to take that case where?
Yeah.
You know, the man got dead and then make up the whole story, you know?
Yeah.
To be honest, SouFLo, for a couple years ago.
So the US was closing in. So for a lot of people who don't know that, right? The US was closing in on Jamaican authority as far as political parties being affiliated with these powerful gangs and dons. And of course, the top don at the time was Jim Brown, right? And before them could reach him, a fire happened in the prison and he was caught in his cell. So he died of natural causes pertaining to the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to show you, let's not be stupid and think that these politicians are kill people, right? Because look on the pastor man or the prophet or whoever mobile with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
How convenient is that them a transport this one to Kingston and they can just crash on them dead, you know?
Right.
Like, come on.
Right.
Come on,
of all
how
people.
Convenient.
Of all people.
You get me?
Yeah.
And them said this man did hold information against certain, influential people in the country.
Well, you saw who was in his church.
It's just convenient that they must speed and them crash and dead, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's weird. And just to touch on the girl from Guyana, SouFLoTV, I don't have much to say, but so far I don't know what that girl did over a phone.
Them pick me up. But I'll get into the details of that. I'm going to get into the details of that in a minute.
Let me tell you, SouFLoTV. You see, I'm into like psychology and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, SouFLoTV. You see, growing up as children,
mm-hmm.
a lot of people are affected in certain ways with trauma and all this stuff. And I'm telling you, SouFLoTV, them take it up on people.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do stuff SouFLoTV, them know what them doing up. But it's one of God up above can't tell you why them do it. Them tell themselves SouFLoTV, but they never have a belief. Because sometimes it don't make no sense.
True.
But bless up SouFLoTV and bless up the viewers.
Manners and respect, my brother. Thank you, here.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I'm glad I did wait for the call there. Because I saw the call kept coming in, but I had to restart the phone. All right. Shout out to that brother for calling in and making sense. Before I go into the SSL stuff, let me say something, right? If you think that your discernment is always right about people, I'll ask you this. How many people have you been with in a relationship? Because if you could tell me one and you say, I've only been with one person because my discernment was always right. So everybody else I was able to see through, so I was able to avoid the BS before it started, right? And I've been with this one person my whole time because my discernment was right. If you've been from relationship to relationship, whether it was your fault or not, your discernment ain't always right. That's just a good example right there. One more caller come in. Let's take this call. Live on the air with SouFLoTV. Good morning.
Morning, SouFLoTV. How are you doing today?
Manners and respect, family. I'm here, doing good. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Firstly, I want to say, me and my partner, we're a big fan. She put me on here, so go on to do the right thing and just keep doing it the same way, yeah?
Manners and respect to you and your partner. Thank you.
All right. So what we really want to touch upon now was the Vybz Kartel case. I'm going to tell you really and truly, it's so disgusting to see how the justice system deal with somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I say? Because it's like when you look into it now, in the case itself, all the evidence that they have is all tampered with. All the evidence that they have, the voice notes and everything is all spliced. So how can you then use that to then put someone behind bars? All you have against him is just it's just so ridiculous to me.
And it was deemed that way. And it was deemed that way by a forensic expert who was flown into the country from the UK to investigate and examine the evidence in front of the prosecutor and in front of Kartel's attorney, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And still, you know what I mean? It's just things like that, but it just goes to show you how deep the corruption is. And that's even showing the last call that even just said, because we just put you watching and listening.
You went underwater there first. Fix the phone. You went underwater. We're not hearing you. King Big says, and this is why Muurdhr, Alkaline, and others have left Jamaica. You say when them they left, is a lot of them in the music and entertainment fraternity. Some extortion thing of Guyana, Jamaica that was spoken about before. I'm not gonna go too deep into it now, but I think I need to rehash it and do some video on it. I see them make after Popcorn the other day as well. You notice the Papi Tekwe himself. They made after Popcorn the other day. And somebody very powerful said, yeah, Popcorn did go on like him want to come mash up the stage show business in Jamaica because him start keep unruly fest, right? And he's not performing at other people's stuff. And the person actually went further. I mean, I call the person name, but the person powerful. The person went further to say, well, him could have just come on other people's show and give them a strength too. These are the same people who
but you know,
are connected.
It's a money thing when it comes to that. It's a money thing because really and truly, if you're looking to even Popcorn and Unruly Fest now, him cut out all the promoter them, so all of the values where they something they would have bring is just him getting all of the revenue. You understand?
Right.
And that's what they're not happy about.
Right. Remember, Sam, I come from a place where they used to put him on shows and not pay him good enough, you know. This is when this is before his stardom became what it is now. So the man suffered through all that, put in his work, and now he's at a place where he can host his own big event. None of them can't bring in Drake.
True.
Nobody else is at top of the charts like Drake. None of them cannot bring in Drake.
Come on, man.
Burna Boy. None of them can bring in these other people, right? These people are closely associated with Popcorn. So when time Popcorn, I keep him Unruly Fest and then bringing them people here, anything they're keeping around that time get washed out. Right.
No, trust me. That's a fact. That's a fact, man.
Right.
But SouFLo, go and do your thing. You don't know what they are here watching and listening. Just big up yourself as always, yeah?
Manners and respect, family.
Yeah, and my partner is Lisa Watkins. You don't know, she's a big supporter. So
yes.
You could have give her a shout out. I appreciate that.
All right, will do. Lisa Watkins, big up yourself. Brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah. Let's get into this. Boy, the Vybz Kartel thing looked like it about to take over the morning. Didn't know that's how corrupt Jamaican politicians are. Erica Senior, really? Listen, Jamaica is a deadly place when it comes to this. Okay, if they want you, that's it for you. They don't stop shy of sending gunmen to shoot you up. They don't stop shy of playing dirty because they play dirty all the time. There's a lot of political assassination going around the country. A lot of extrajudicial killings going around the country. Remember Chucky, the police officer who they claim went rogue? Remember how Chucky told on everybody? And you see where them put Chucky? They buried his ass under the prison. We don't even know where he's at. We don't even know where he's at. He called too many high-powered names. This is a police officer that was known for killing people out in the streets, but he was killing on behalf of. And he was telling now who he was killing on behalf of. The man detailed out him thing, you know. And okay, this murder I was involved in, this one I wasn't involved in, but I could tell you who was involved in it and who sanctioned it. This one, yeah, me killed a boy there for my drug dealer friend or for my Dan brethren from round there. So I did just a disrespect my brethren. I'll take that one on the chin. This one right here we did for so-and-so. You know what they did? Not one person that this man called, not one high-power name that he called in his confession was ever brought before any courts, was ever prosecuted, was ever even investigated to any level. They took his confession and they lost him in the system. That's how it goes, right? And we must act like we're blind. I could go back again. Kentucky Kid. Kentucky Kid will stick with me forever because Kentucky Kid went as far as to put up video cameras in his home that caught them in his house. And DPP, Paula Llewellyn, them went and said, well, we don't have enough evidence, so nothing further. Drop the case right here. And everybody walked. And they killed him. And he knew they were going to kill him. And he said it to us. He made videos that they were going to kill him. And they told him, well, if you feel that way, put up some cameras around your place then. And he did. And he caught them. And they still got away with it. Them kick up and beat up his pregnant wife, remember? He was sitting in the bathroom pooping blood. His pregnant wife, she had to run and leave Jamaica and go back to wherever she was from. Like, yo, one of the things that Jamaica are easy place. Then now, if you understand truly how Jamaica is run, you will understand why we call them bad slave. You will understand because we view it as at the plantation this still. So you have obedient slaves, and then you have the one them with out of control, because them no comfort tech, none of the friggery, right? That's why sometimes when people talk, they'll sound like they are backing badness or backing criminality or whatever, but each situation is different, you know? Each situation is different. It's all about survival, and ain't nobody there to save us, or we have to save ourselves. That's one thing me know about Jamaica. We have to save ourselves. Nobody now come save we. So yeah, when time some of them go way out of control, that's them trying to save themselves, my friend. Now, even this particular case right here, right? The Gene and Panton case, may I go back into the cartel thing later. The Gene and Panton case with SSL. How in God's name does millions and millions of US dollars go missing? Nobody saw that money walk out. Nobody is held accountable. In a huge investment firm, company that has many, many different employees, and some of them are above this person who they, a lower level person who they threw up under the bus. And we're just supposed to go, okay, she alone stole billions by herself. So I think what it was in Gene and Panton's case, this is my assessment. I think Gene and Panton had some health issues going already. And I think they looked at it and they said, well, you sick already. So if we get catch, you can actually, sit in a wheelchair and, go to court in a wheelchair and play up the sympathy part. You're in bad health suddenly. You're not going to do too good. You're not going to survive behind bars. It's not a crime where anybody was killed per se. It's a white collar crime. We took money, right? So then probably hit you with a whole bunch of fines. Even if they give you time, it'll only be a little bit of time. So you're going to be the fall person. And she was designated to be the fall person. See? And I think that's what happened there. However, I think after the people and the world start to scream loud because they made a mistake and put Usain Bolt's money in it. You got to understand that Usain Bolt is not just any regular Jamaican. Big up to Usain Bolt. He acts like just a regular Jamaican because Usain is a youth when they out a road with you. He might wind up when carnival time come. He's in Jamaica, he's in Trinidad, he's all across the Caribbean, but he is a global icon. He's a global icon, right? When the man go any other place, he can't just walk out by himself. So the whole stadium or whole mall will shut down or whatever. He's a global icon for real. His money got involved, and then U.S. authorities got involved, and then people around the world, everybody's eyes were now on it. This is when they said, "Oh shit, okay, if we didn't touch Usain money, this would have been swept under the rug. But because Usain money is involved and it's a lot of it, millions of US dollars, everybody's eyes are still on it." The lady who was designated to take the fall, Gene and Panton, the only person charged in the alleged $3 billion fraud scheme at Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL, that's billion, not M, million, B, billion, claims now that she confessed because of an alleged offer from her former boss and the company's founder, Hugh Croskery. If you look at the icon for this video this morning, you will see Gene and Panton's picture. You will see Usain Bolt, the one white dude with up on the cover, the icon. That is Hugh Croskery. Okay? All right. She'll talk because it looked like see, Messi Masado tried the same thing, right? When she stole away Mavado's money. Like a dancehall boy from ghetto. He make some money and sing song. We are high class people. We could go to court and talk around them people that take away money. So I'm afraid to come to Jamaica. Okay, so make it so that he has to come to Jamaica to sit in court. If he can't do that, then throw out the case and we get to keep his money. And they conspired to do that to Mavado, to keep the man money. Millions of dollars she thief from the man, right? And sell some land to him or some that wasn't hers to sell in the first place. See? She took a whole lot of laxative. Me not care when nobody wants said this is my opinion, and them can't sue me for my opinion because it's my opinion, and I'm stating that it's my opinion. I'm not saying it's factual. I'm not saying it was proven anywhere. I said it's my opinion. I think she took a whole bunch of laxative, orchestrated this with her attorneys, and said, okay, time it right. So when you're reaching a court, just bear down hard and shit up yourself. And then the attorney is going to back up and go, whoa, ew. Hey, I'm telling you, Your Honor, she's in bad shape. Look, she can't control her bowels. It's everywhere. Poop, dust, doo-doo, I go everywhere. If y'all lock her up, you guys are going to have to be able to be on her 24/7 with medical care because she had doo-doo up herself. And that's why I call her Messi Masado. Messi Masado is not her name. Her name is Masado, right? But that's where me get the messy masada from. So they're not afraid to go into these. Them go deep into character when it's time for con the people them. And it works in their favor. Jean and Panton pulled out the wheelchair. They rolled her ass off to jail anyways. She been sitting in there for a minute, still in the wheelchair. Oh, I can't move. My legs don't work anymore. So, wait a second, I get that charge. You're charging me for real? Ooh, my legs them gone. Can't work no more. I have spinal issues. My body come down for me. You know, I forgot carry me everywhere from this day forward. Well, they're like, hey, you ain't going nowhere because Mr. Hugh Croskery can't take them that kind of charger. Are you little black girl if you go take them charger? Okay, and that's on the plan. All right then. After the courtroom, you go in your wheelchair. Back to your cell, you go in your wheelchair. And they're like, can we please release this lady? At least let her be on confinement in her house and in our workout. They're like, nope, she going to prison, even if she go to prison in a wheelchair. And now she's like, oh shit. Okay, guess what? Me sorry, you know, sir. But me know me did tell us I'm gonna confess and take the little deal. But them now let me out. The wheelchair thing not working. So now she's pointing finger. She says, not me alone thief the money. Him did tell me, say, if me confess to it, him would have work up a thing for me. Me confess. I see me here now. So now, she start pointing finger, because it never work. All right. The former client relationship manager, she made the claim in her defense in a lawsuit that was brought against her and 9 others by Jean Ford, an investor. Croskery is the third defendant. In trepidation, the second defendant, who is Panton, says that the background of the alleged confession was premised on an offer that was made by the third defendant, who is Croskery. He made an offer, and I confessed, on behalf of the first defendant, SSL. The said offer was an inducement, and the statement would not have been made otherwise. In other words, she was induced. You know, like one time, woman go in to have baby and the doctor say, well, you know, tomorrow is your due date, but we can induce your labor today and have the baby come out today. Yeah, so let's schedule delivery for 9 o'clock this evening. Yeah, she said, otherwise, that they would have never come out her mouth. But him make the offer. So she telling on behalf of the defendant FSL, she said the offer was an inducement, and that statement would not have been made otherwise. This is what she said in the document that was filed in the Supreme Court on May 25th. She continued, the second defendant, who is Panton, therefore puts the claimant to strictly prove the validity of the alleged confession statement and allegations according to law. Details of the so-called offer were not outlined. Right. Right. So she can't say, well, you know, him say, him gonna make me hold 1 billion, or him gonna make me hold 200 million, and then, you know, me take a little fall or something. They were not outlined. I'm sure they were outlined, they were just not published for us to see and read through. See? Croskery's attorney, now, a big man, them I know. Croskery's attorney, King's Counsel Peter Champagny, y'all are so familiar with that name. Hey, may I tell you, you know, me have Peter Champagny name and number upon speed dial. Anyhow, them touch me. I first person me I call a Jamaica. Because I am first, everybody call. When the caca hits the fan, that's the first person they call. Anyways, Croskery's attorney, King's Counsel Peter Champagny, said Panton's, believe me, the little rich boy from Uptown the other day, the little mixed looking youth where look more white than anything else, where lock up the girl in the dorm room because she give her the little ton and bun her up with iron all over her body. And so who you think they went and got? Peter Champagny. Yeah. I could name a whole bunch of people that are in situations they run and get Peter Champagny. So anyhow, Croskery's attorney, King's Counsel Peter Champagny, said that Panton's latest allegations does not accord with my instructions from my client, who is Mr. Croskery. I would not want to venture into a discourse concerning that it is that Panton is alleged to have said her matter is best before the court, and it is best dealt with in the court. Yeah, I know why you're not. And you made your confession already. We're riding with what you said before. Anything else to say after that, we're going to have to fight it out in court, basically, is what he's saying. According to the signed confession statement dated January 7, 2023, Jean Ann Panton admitted that she used various mechanisms to take money from clients and that she created false statements to provide to the clients reflecting what they should have had in their accounts and not the sum that was actually in their accounts. What me have to laugh. In their accounts, she added that she stole the money over the course of several years. And we who they don't think are so bright are scratching our heads like, well, over the course of several years, you were fleecing a whole lot of money and nobody saw it. No checks and balances in this corporation that you represented and worked for as an investor with all these high-end clients. Okay. Well, the statement, which was made to SSL as part of an internal investigation, named 39 clients whose accounts had a total of over $700 million. Panton said that she took approximately 20% of that $700 million, in addition to rewarding herself with a further $109 million. So the mathematicians in the room can do the maths. She raised her hand and said, I took 20% of the 700 million and then 109 million more after. Somebody else take the rest. It wasn't me. That's what she's saying. Somebody else took the rest. It wasn't me. This is a $2 billion thing. An account in the name of Welgen Limited Holding Company. This company is owned by sports great Usain Bolt. That was not mentioned in the list that SSL said is a subsequent statement, in a subsequent statement, that it was unaware of the portfolio and unaware that the portfolio was. Remember when they first came out and they were like, oh, Usain Bolt, I didn't even know he had money in our company. This is what the bigger heads of the company came out and said. For those of you who are listening and you're like, damn, I didn't know Jamaica was so corrupt and they get down like that deep. What account? I didn't know. I didn't even know he had an account here. T for the whole of the man money, you know. I said, I didn't even know you had an account here, bro. You serious? You have an account here? Your whole of your money gone? Really? I lie. Brother, we have to go look into it. Remember, I told y'all yesterday, Jamaican people are the funniest. They'll steal your stuff and help you look for it. Wait, so you put it down under your sir? No, sir, me not see it. It's in their pocket, right? It wasn't me, like Shaggy. Erica Cedar says it wasn't me, like Shaggy. Everybody said it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Me, I didn't even know you had an account here, much less. Panton said she only took 20% of that, plus a 109 million bonus she get to herself. An account in the name of Welgen held by Usain Bolt. A lot of them came out and said, hey, we had no idea he had any money over here. She said, though, I feel remorse for my actions. This is what she said, right? Because you see the little wheelchair thing now work. I feel remorse for my actions, Panton said in a statement that bears a seal and a signature from a justice of the peace. A note at the end of the statement said, I gave the above statement voluntarily and of my own free will, and I am of sound mind. I confirm that I obtained legal advice before swearing to this statement, and the said statement was given in the presence of my attorney at law. That is what the bottom line says, the bottom piece I'd say. See? So now, the big man who is the founder of the company, who she's pointing a finger to and saying he made, he made, you know, and kind of coerce me into saying these things. His attorney is saying, no, because it says right here, you were of sound mind, you had legal advice, you did all these things before you signed this. You kind of out here on your own, so you want to carry you in a court and sue you too. She's between a rock and a hard place, and I don't think that little money that she stole is saving her right now. For those of you who don't know, Usain Bolt's account value plummeted from $2 billion. $2 billion. That's that's about 12.7 million US dollars. Yeah, Usain rich, like rich. He don't act like it. He don't speak about it, but him filthy rich. But this account alone that they got their paws on, I bet they were happy as hell when time Usain putting money in here. Ross, come here, Karen. How much money in there? 12.7 million backside. We start figure out how to split this up already. Well, me want 20%. That's it. Well, you know what, Gene? You have to go take the fall, because you're sick already. Yeah, you can go in and go do it up yourself like Messi Masado or sit down in a wheelchair. Then we have like a leniency upon you. And they started planning how to take the man money. 12.7 million was in his account. In October of 2022, that account went down to 1.8 million. I talk about 12.7 million US dollars, The account went down to 1.8 million Jamaican dollars. Yeah. Or 12,000. And could you see the irony in this? You had 12 million US. So when you come back and check your thing, you now have 12,000. Now, there's a big difference between $12 million and $12,000. I'm not too good at math, but I think there's a big difference. But the irony, why didn't they leave 11,000? Why was it still 12? It's kind of insulting. When the man went and checked, there was 12,000 US dollars in his $12.7 million account in January. October, when them check, 12.7 mil. Come back in January, 12,000 US. Following an alert from Panton, his legal team said they checked, and that's what they saw. Panton, who worked at SSL for over 25 years until she was dismissed in January when the scandal broke, was charged in February. After them search up all her properties and all these other things, right? That's just over a month after SSL reported the fraud to the regulations or the Regulators Financial Services Commission, or FSC, on January 10th. Even the FSC, I think, was in on this and the whole racket that SSL was running the whole time, because they are the overseeing body, and all the major infractions that they were cited for before, they kept on getting just a slap on the wrist and, probably pay somebody something under the table and keep on going with it. Ford, an 80-year-old woman, is suing SSL at this moment as well, and other defendants, alleging that she was defrauded out of her 830,000 US dollars. No, come on, no. Enough of we've been a foreign. We've been here for a long time. We've been working. I walk out with Soul Case. Enough of we don't have 830,000 US dollars sit down in a one account just so, right? This lady is 80 years old. You could imagine that this is her life's worth of money. This is her retirement money. This is the money to take care of me good. And I'm old age when me can't move no more and me sit down on veranda whole day. And me need somebody to help me change my diaper and these things. People want to be taken care of good. You're going to have to start saving from now, because healthcare is very expensive. So them not going to park you around a one corner and have you do up yourself all day and nobody not change you. That's just a side note for everybody in here, right? Last week, the Chief Technical Director and Head of Financial Investigations Division, FID, Selvin Hay, said that the investigation into this case is still progressing. That's all you see and keep on here. The case is progressing. We're coming along. In the Supreme Court filing on March 10th, the FSC declared that SSL was insolvent, saying that the company did not have enough money to pay back its debts to all the people who were fleeced out of their money. So if you're wondering if Usain was going to get his money back, the company has already been deemed by overseeing authorities and governing bodies as insolvent. Them not have no money there. That's what they're saying. So sorry about your little money, your little $2 billion that went away, your little 12.7 million US that went away. We have nothing to pay you back, sir. The regulatory or the regulator has also sought the court's permission to present a petition under the Companies Act for the winding up of liquidations of SSL. Leave to appoint Tomlinson as trustee, the confirmation of full and exclusive power of management of SSL vested in the FSC effective January 17th. So the FSC has taken over SSL. That's what that means. And they are not allowed as a company, SSL, to liquidate their assets and close up shop. Them can't say, okay, let's close down everything. Let's sell off what we need for sell off, trade off, stock, whatever, and split our money up and go our separate ways. Everything is frozen, has to stay right where it's at until this case comes to an end, right? That's where that's at. So the alarming news is that Miss Panton is not taking this line down and she's not going all in by herself. She's pointing to the most powerful person in this company. And that most powerful person is Hugh Croskery. Now, y'all can go do your due diligence and look up Hugh Croskery and his history and who he is and all these other things. Or I'll probably do that for you on a different day. But I just saw them there with that. So didn't I tell y'all from the beginning that this was too much? In closing off this segment, I told y'all from the beginning, there's no way that woman could have done that. Investigators call this a complex fraud scheme, billion-dollar racket. At SSL, this is not a one-man job. This is their words. They said that an immense skill set, knowledge required to pull off this scam that fleeced Usain Bolt and others, several others, of their high-end clients. So even the investigators know that's where they're at now. This is not a one-man job. So if she's pointing to people, let's ask ourselves this. Are they going to investigate the persons she's pointing to? We wait to see. Now you're going to see how classism and money, when it's married, how powerful it becomes in a place like Jamaica. Wait and see. Wait and see. I'm waiting to see as well. Usain, good luck with getting your money back, my friend. They basically just told you to your face, I don't have nothing to pay you back. I'm sorry that you lost your money here. That's that. That's it. Your money gone. Audrey Wright says, don't hold your breath. I ain't holding my breath. I already know what the outcome of this is going to be. I can predict it right now, and you will watch it happen. Not that thing now going to happen to anybody where she point to. Nothing. That's it. And she's going to take this on the chin for herself. Because they have somebody, that's where they're going to leave it at. The other person is in the skin to win, if you know what I mean. Dorothy T says, well, then they should lock up every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and they're not. Tom, Dick, and Harry are of a certain persuasion, and they have money. Miss Panton is not. Anyhow, let's move right along to the 15-year-old girl who's charged with 19 counts of murder. 19 counts of murder at 15 years old. This story is everywhere. This story, I'm looking at it from the Guyana news, but I'm looking at it also in another coverage here from Jamaica news. Then I'm looking at it over here from US news. And we're talking about major news entities like the New York Times and all that. So let's get into the story. 15-year-old girl charged with 19 counts of murder after a school fire in Guyana. Police have accused the teenager of starting the blaze in a dormitory that killed 18 schoolmates and a 5-year-old boy. No, we're a 5-year-old boy are doing a school dorm, but you know, that's probably there to visit family members and whatnot. Before me going to all that, I used to go to Knox, right? And the boarders them at Knox, Boarders are usually people that live on campus, and people used to board out their children from very young. You know, people that had money. When I was going to Knox, there's people like, let me see, the daughter of the owner of a major airline for one of these islands. The name of the island and with islands. I don't want to say too much, but you know, affluent people board their children out there, so they don't have to really worry about them. They could go on about their business, live their life, make their money, and then they'll pick the child up on holidays. Nobody no unruly like them. They pick them sneak out a dorm, beer sex party, backers round a backer building, all kind of something go on, right? And they're pretty much left up to their own self. Then the house mothers and all the people who govern campus always in a something with them. So they get quite unruly. It was one of these kind of schools in Guyana. It's a boarding school. The teenage student whom the police in Guyana accused of deliberately setting a fire in the girls' dormitory that killed 18 schoolmates and a 5-year-old boy, she's been charged, and they wasted no time in charging her as an adult. As an adult. The 15-year-old girl appeared virtually at the hearing on Monday in a court south of the capital, Georgetown, and was ordered to be held in custody pending further court proceedings. Of course, everybody is saying, why did she do that? Investigators alleged that she started the blaze at Madea Secondary School on 21st of May in anger with the dorm administrator over the confiscation of her mobile phone. Them take away her phone. Punishment, right? Take away their phone, and she burn up the place. The government boarding school serves remote indigenous villages. The defendant was not allowed to plead to the charges and will make a second court appearance on July 5th, which is 4 days away from today, when state and defense lawyers will indicate if they are ready to start a preliminary trial, and if found guilty, she is looking at the rest of her natural life in prison. The fire of the school began shortly before midnight. Listen to this. All 5 doors to the dormitory had been locked from inside. More than 24 students were injured. One of the critically injured students was flown to New York to a hospital for specialist treatment, while most have been discharged. Those are the ones that were hurt, on top of the 19 that died, or 18 that died, and the little boy, make 19. Guyana's National Security Advisor, Gerald Govea, said that the dorm administrator, or the house mother, she locked all the doors to prevent the female students who were ages 12 to 18 from sneaking out to go socialize. In the boarding school environment, I know how that part they go. So she locked them up in her dorm to prevent them from sneaking out to go socialize. And when the building caught on fire, they said the flames were so high, so fast, this lady panicked. And she fumbled. And she dropped the keys and couldn't open the doors. And the blaze ran through the building and killed all those girls. She fumbled at the worst damn time. She fumbled at the worst damn time. The building was catching on fire. The blaze was going up fast. She panicked. She didn't know what to do. She had the keys. You know, them carry them key on one big ring, and the key had like 100 key on it. Assarin Odetta says a lie. She wasn't there. She was out with our side man. I saw. Onika St. John Jones says put alarms on the doors so you will know when they go out, right? It's just like my house. My house has a loud alarm on every door. But that's because, you know, me no want to picnic them go out. The little kids are curious. Kai and Milani, they're like all over the place. The other day, me hear, help, help. I'm run go around there. Melania's top bunk in the boys' room and can't get herself down. I was just glad that she didn't jump because it's a pretty tall bunk. But yeah, she was trying to do good according to the news and fumbled big time, dropped the key when it mattered the most, and couldn't open the door to let the girls out. And the girls perished. And now this young lady at 15 years old is looking at the rest of her natural life because they're charging her as an adult. And they've stated that already. Now, the update to that says the death toll in the dormitory fire increases. More of the girls have died. Now, if more of the girls have died, that means she's going to be charged with more counts of murder. She's also responsible for these losses. The lady, the house mother. You think the house mother is... Who in here thinks that the house mother is also responsible for these losses? Like, yeah? Crystal G, you think so? Why? Everybody has said them think so. I think they're going to pin it squarely on this young lady. Locks shouldn't be on those doors. Yeah, it's easy to say locks shouldn't be on those doors, but when them little girl, like if I send my daughter to your school and I'm paying school fee and she boarded out at your school, I'm sending her there because I believe in the security that you told me that you would be able to provide for my child. Like, no boy now come through no bush and climb over fence and enter the property from the rear and come give my daughter no backers at night when she's supposed to be in bed sleeping in her dorm room, right? I think you're supposed to keep her secured. So if she comes home pregnant, I'm a board her out, I'll be hella pissed. I'll probably come bun it down myself. So in that regard, they were trying to keep things secured because obviously the girls were known for sneaking out to go socialize. So then put lock on all at the door them, and she's supposed to walk around with the keys and the place catch a fire by one of their own on purpose. If it was in any event, if it was my child or one of my children that burn up in there with the rest of them, I probably would feel the same way too. Some adult would have to pay in some way or accept some level of responsibility in some way. You know, I probably wouldn't just sit there and be like, okay, one of the students set the place on fire, so my daughter burn up with 18, our friend them. I wouldn't take it that lightly either. There should have been some measures in place where if in the event a fire happened, how quickly can we get out of the building? You know, there must be an escape plan, and then there must be a backup plan to that escape plan, because these are people's children you're talking about, and look how many of them died at once. Let's take this phone call real quick. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hey, SouFLo, how are you?
I'm good, family. How are you doing this morning?
I'm okay. Thank you for asking.
All right, talk to us.
My opinion, and this is my opinion.
See.
The house lady or the dormitory lady, I don't think she's responsible or even solely responsible. I think this whole case is gonna bring up a lot of things to the forefront, especially when it comes to building codes.
Right.
Caribbean on a whole. I feel like a lot of these older schools, because I'm assuming it's an older school, just, even the picture you painted about, her holding a ring with keys and
right,
kind of like, the Matilda show.
Right. And nowadays, and now that you're saying that, not to cut you off, but now that you're saying that, nowadays, to get a lock that has a combination to it, that's easier than ever, and they're not expensive either.
Right.
So she could have run down that hallway going 113 pound, 224 pound, 115 pound, 116 pound. Just pull out her list and say room number 1, 779 pound and let out. 221 pound let out. But instead she fumbled keys and couldn't find keys in fire, and children got burnt up in there. So
that is true.
But that is hindsight. No.
Right, exactly. And I feel like only things come into play when something has happened, and it kind of took something this tragic to happen.
Right.
For people to even start looking at, as I said, building codes, emergency exits, fire drills, which probably wasn't a thing that were done.
True.
Right? True. So it's easier for even us in the diaspora to say, yeah, well, fair fault, and why the kids them lock up, as somebody else was saying, and you were trying to explain that as well. It's easier for us to say because we're kind of used to the whole, people go through fire drills, and every Monday, a employer might do that, a school might do that, just to make sure everybody's on one accord to say, if there's an emergency, we know how to leave this building, this facility.
Yeah, everybody here is saying she's partially responsible. No, you're not breaking up. You're clear. Everybody here is saying that she's partially responsible, though.
Partially responsible, but I don't feel like she's gonna be like
solely responsible
to say, well, she's human.
Right.
She fumbled with the key. She's probably trying to find her child, because I think the 5-year-old was her child.
Rotted.
And as the fire is blazing up, she panicked.
Yeah.
She panicked.
Yeah, damn.
But I think this is gonna open a lot of things, and for the government themselves to look at, as I said, building codes, fire drill, bringing things up to speed, up to modern.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. It's just sad that it took this, though, right?
It's sad that it took this. Exactly.
Right. And now they better implement what you're talking about all across that place, all across Guyana.
Right.
And matter of fact, all across the Caribbean diaspora, all boarding schools better start looking at this too. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right.
Because even to kind of bring Jamaica in it, and I'm Jamaican, so that's why I'm bringing it.
Right.
We can look at even Jamaica. There's a lot of schools, there's a lot of buildings that are not modern, they're not updated, their building codes are not even existing.
True.
Right?
True.
So it takes sometimes, unfortunately, tragic events to bring change.
Absolutely.
Because everybody get complacent, they get comfortable, and they feel like, well, nothing never happened before, so that's how we do it.
Yeah. True.
Why are we locking the kids them in? Because we live over here, so we used to freeness.
Yeah.
Everybody just do what they want, and it's not like that over there. It's a different mentality.
Right.
Different culture.
Right. You are absolutely
right.
So
her being solely responsible, I definitely don't think so.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Yeah. It's everybody in a whole. This is a us problem that we need to fix.
I agree. I can't even go around that. I agree. Right. Absolutely. Well said. Thank you.
Thanks, SouFLo.
All right. I appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right. You too.
Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning. I cut off your call, caller. I'm sorry. My apologies. Yeah, that she made pretty good sense. And on that note, we better start imploring all these other schools and facilities throughout the diaspora. Like, y'all better start checking, because this is truly tragic. It's not like one and two lose their lives in a fire. You'd have been like, oh, damn, I feel so sorry for those little girls, and things could have been done better. But 19, and the little boy. And like she said, the lady panicked, because I was wondering whose friggin' 5-year-old would have been in there at this time. The dorm instructor child. Could you imagine the panic? Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, family. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. Listen to this. That the girl wanted to talk to a grown 40-something-year-old man.
That's the follow-up to the story?
Yes.
Wait. Let me tell you what I heard. I heard that there were things on that phone that she was sending back and forth to somebody. I didn't hear about the 40-year-old. I heard that things on that phone.
The man was 40-something.
Yeah, there was pictures. You can guess what kinds of pictures was on that phone. And the dorm instructor took the phone, and they wanted to get into the phone you know, them can't crack our code, so they're going to keep the phone and try to find a way to get into it later on. And she panicked, and she was like, if that gets finding on my phone, then so instead of doing that, she prefer to burn down the whole place. What you gonna tell me now?
She told the dorm teacher that she was gonna burn the place down.
Rotted.
And the dorm teacher didn't do nothing about it. The dorm teacher every night leaves out and go out to meet some man at the other shed down the street because it's all dark around it. The place is called Muurdhr.
Mm-hmm. But but this night she was there.
The girl did light the mattress on fire. The teacher was with somebody and left her son in the building with them.
Ross.
Yes.
So
and before the
so she using wait. So she using them as babysitter.
Yes.
And then she go see her man.
Yeah, not her man, somebody man or whatever, just site man, something. Yes.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, and that's why she talked about fumble keys. Now she heard the fire was started and she can't do nothing about it.
She round up on her hot buckers.
Yes, and then she dropped the keys and this is what happened.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So by the time she gets to the building, the kids burnt. She can't do nothing about it.
So she have story about fumble keys and panic.
Yes. She fumbled the key while she was with the man. You heard about the fire, and you searching for the keys to go open the building. You can't get to the building in time. The kids burning, and the key drop out your hand while you're with the man. And by the time you get there, this is what happened. Mm-hmm.
Backside.
So she responsible and the girl responsible.
Well, if this is how it went, then they need to hang her behind up. If this is how it went, yes.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's a regular thing she does all the time.
Wow.
Because I was in Linden. Linden is not far from Muurdhr.
Right.
It's not that far from where I was. Because I was in Guyana at the time.
Rotted.
Mm-hmm.
It says a regular thing she do.
Yes, every night.
But okay, so me I hear, and I know some of this is gossip, people. You know, let me say, so people don't run away and say this is factual and SouFLo said this is gossip. Okay, that part there. I'm hearing that this lady have her own man, and this is a
husband,
right? And this is a side piece type of thing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So she put all these children's life in jeopardy, and her own
lock
child
them up so they can't come out
for some side.
The wood have to been good for her. That's why.
Wow. No, we have to laugh and take serious thing, make joke, but in this dead serious, ja.
Mm-hmm. I
can't say nothing else but wow.
Yep. It's a regular scenario she does all the time. And that's why the girl was mad at her because she took her phone. Because they watches the little boy for her while she leave at
night. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. All right, my friend. Thank you for sharing.
All right.
All right. What a backside though. So she risk it all for live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Yeah, bless a good morning, fam.
Morning, fam. Thank you for calling in.
I call. Manners and respect on that, man. First time I call on your program.
Yes, sir.
But I always watch your program.
Thank you for tuning in. Talk to
me. You're welcome, man. Good content. Well, I called to talk about the situation there with the fire in Guyana, the dorm. Well, as a Guyanese living out of Guyana, but also visit my country frequently, in these indigenous communities, the government put a blind eye on them. There's a lot more to this story than just this young lady setting that building afire because
her phone,
her cell phone got taken away. This young lady has been molested by people within her family, and also she's in a relationship with an older man.
And she's
who's
15.
taking advantage of her.
So she's 15, and I'm hearing that the man is like 40 something.
Exactly. And there is
Yes,
content
but
in the cell phone
that
with
part I've
she and
heard
this
as well.
man.
Right.
And that's the reason why she was so angry when they took away the cell phone. Now, also, you have to keep in mind, which a lot of people turn a blind eye to, is that the in the community they have these Christian churches that's indoctrinating the children. Due to the fact that the one of the pastors in the region, he have videos on YouTube about it as well. The children are going through the normal stuff of teenager, the puberty and those kind of stuff. So you have hormones balancing and those kind of stuff. And he is telling the kids and the parents, only the young ladies he's talking about, and having the young men sit down in the church, observing what's happening, telling them that they have a demon on them and he's going to take the demon out of them. So, and one of his chants he used when he's performing this demonic removal from the girls, because they're going through this phase in their life, he always chanting, fire, fire, burn, burn, fire, fire, burn, burn. Now, this young lady had been traumatized from being molested. Her youth is being taken away from her because she has this big man in her life, or this big man forces himself in her life. She been indoctrinated by this Christian church in the community, and then she has school to deal with. So when this situation occurred of her phone being taken away, she was not thinking straight. She didn't look upon. I'm sure.
Well, obviously she wasn't thinking straight. I mean, you're giving us a backstory here that I clearly see the correlation to that would contribute to, how that would contribute to how this turned out. But clearly she wasn't thinking straight.
Exactly, of looking at her colleagues and be like, I'm gonna just burn everybody down in this place here. She thinking that when she light the mattress or whatever she light in the building, it was just to draw attention to her. Not knowing that it would escalate to that point. Now, this young lady should not be go to jail. That's my opinion.
You don't think so?
I don't think she should get jail time. She should be held accountable, yes, for her action by putting her in the hands of the relevant authorities to bring her back into society mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Yeah,
a lot of counseling for her.
And along those lines, now that I'm hearing more, I'm kind of looking at this like, well, she didn't go stab up anybody, and she didn't like purposely put poison in somebody's food and kill them. Like there was no malicious intent to like, I'm gonna kill everybody here. So I'm gonna start stab up that girl. Yeah, that's intentional, right?
Exactly.
But she catch a fire, and the way you're explaining it, I hope you're her attorney. Because you probably could have get the judge to say, she don't go to prison, she goes, and they were quick to publish that they're charging her as an adult.
Yes, because as an indigenous people in Guyana, as I said, they put them on the back burner. Remember, these are native people of the country,
right?
The Amerindian people,
right?
Most of these women out of these Amerindian camps have go through some form of molestation in the young age by the hands of either people within the community or foreign, when I say foreigners, like not out of the country foreigners, but people who live in the capital of the country,
right?
Because they go into this village for gold mining.
Okay. And they take advantage of
so that means they leave in exactly. They go in there for 3-4 months for gold mining, and they take advantage of these ladies. The authorities of Guyana know about this situation and turn a blind eye only when it's election. Then they try to gain votes from these people. Now back to the story with this young lady of the fire situation here now. Who should get charged for this here? It should be the dorm mother. It should be the people from the Ministry of Education. it should be people from the fire department, the government, the association, the people who associate in the building code and those kind of stuff. Them should hold accountable for that, because no school should get locked from the outside. The building was locked from the outside, not the inside.
Right, that's why they couldn't get out.
Exactly. The building have no fire extinguishers, no fire buckets, no fire sprinklers. There's no fire drill happening there. There's not even proper running water at the building. They have to use black tanks to get water to the building. So it's just a structure to put up, and just say, okay, we can put 60-something children here, and we can lock them in because the hormones is off balance. All children go through these things, but at the end of the day, it's like if a woman want to cheat or a child want to go out and have an affair, whatever the case may be, it's like Mother Nature. You cannot stop it. You can only monitor it, but it's a way of going about doing that.
Right, right.
And what it did, imprison them children, and the dormitory is not even in the building or close to the building, is crazy. Is the dormitory's son is who died. So the total number of
so it is
girls
her
that
child.
died is 19, and the dormitory's mother, the little boy, yesterday, I think it's yesterday. Yeah, I think it's yesterday. One the child died.
Right.
So the story is bigger than what a lot of people are seeing or hearing from the media out of Guyana.
Right.
Because the politics playing a dirty role in this whole situation. They try to throw this little girl on the bus very fast because they don't want to charge any one of the political leaders and hold them accountable for that. And this have to do with the past and the present administration of Guyana. So I put this way. Sorry, my French, but all of them as a pack of skunks.
All of them.
Yeah, and these lives that been taken by this fire is solely by the hands of the people and the relevant authorities who are supposed to be making sure that these children are safe. And locking a child in a building is not having them safe.
No, but okay, so now that you are saying all this, you know what? You know where my mind is gone? What was there ever surveillance cameras set up around this place?
No.
No. Maybe also there were other people who were taking advantage of these girls that were in this school. These
all that could be passed on. Because you have one security guard, and where the security guard hut is located, I don't know. But one security guard looking over a school of, I think, is about 60 children.
Right.
And the dorm mother don't get a day off, so they don't have another staff to take over from the dorm mother. So she got to deal with this 24 hours.
And that's why she bring her child.
Exactly. She got her own personal life to live. So whether she want to go out and get a little piece of daggering or whatever is going on in her life, she got to enjoy her life too. So there's so much to this story to be told, and there's so much to be learned from this situation throughout the Caribbean or throughout the world.
Reggae Girl Bento.
To go about doing these things.
Sorry, my brother. Reggae Girl Bento is asking when this happened. This happened yesterday or day before yesterday.
No, it happened if
May 30th. Correct me right. May 30th.
Okay, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at the article right now.
No, it happened. No,
May 30th. The death toll from last week's fire. Okay, so yeah, it was probably a week before May 30th, right?
Yeah, like almost 2 weeks ago.
Okay, because the update says May 30th. The death toll increased, so that's when somebody else died.
Oh yeah, May 30th was yesterday. Correct?
May 30th was day before yesterday. 30 days of September, April, June, and November. Yeah, May 3rd, day before yesterday.
Okay, yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago it happened.
Okay.
So, anyhow, don't let me hold up any more of your time and stuff, but thank you for giving me this opportunity.
I appreciate you calling in and putting some insight to this, because we're looking in
No
from the
problem,
outside,
brother.
you know. All right, my brother.
Yeah, because bless up yourself and catch up some other time.
All right, manners.
All right, good. You don't know, man. Bless.
Yeah. The updated story to that one says May 30th, CMC, the death toll from last week's fire. So that means that it was a week before the 30th of May. Today's the 1st of June. Doctors confirmed that 13-year-old Sharena Daniels has been suffering with injuries related to carbon monoxide inhalation and had cardiac arrest on 2 occasions. Her 16-year-old sister, Trishana, who also attended the school but survived the tragedy, told reports that the family is distraught at the death. She said that she arrived at the hospital to meet her sister. So here's an article in the Jamaica Star that's called Death Toll for Dormitory Fire Increases. And that will give you an update, including pictures of some of the children and a better feeling of what has taken place since that happened, right? We're at the top of the hour. That one that took a different turn. That one took a whole different turn. So the woman married. She leave her youth with the girl them in the boarding school. So they babysit at night while she go. Well, we're going to have to see where this goes. Sad situation, but there's a lot to be learned from this. Okay, my last topic for this morning, and I'm just going to breeze through this article and then say what I have to say at the end. Caught it, Brahma right there, pum pum. I have to text here thing make joke, Brahma right there, pum pum, the on fire. Ooh, she was getting a good sort out. Yeah, man, some people will risk life and limb. You know, a woman always talk about how men be thinking with their small head all the time and not their big head, because that's how men do. And I always back that up by saying this. I've always known women that will risk life and limb for some good body. Yeah, me know a woman were there with man where she know everybody afraid of man. I'll tell you all a story from New York already. Me know a girl where everybody afraid of her man. I've told the story before. Me afraid of him. The gunman them in the era afraid of him because him an extra gunman, bad man kind of thing. And that girl left fling with her crutches like crazy. And not only that, she would laugh with us and tell us how she run from him and how she fling with the crutches and these things. So people will risk their life. You can't stop what people want to do, my friend. All some man that they are threatening their girl, if you give her pussy, me, I'll kill you, you know. She'll get the same way, brother. If that is in her character, that is what she's going to do. She'll orchestrate a way to get it done. Even left her picnic them on the night shift with the liquor picnic them on Guyana Road. See it there? She get catch because the place burned down. Could you imagine when she found out that that place was on fire though? And she said, Ross, I'll start run. I got to make it back. And left the key, which part them did there? I never have the key if you open the door them when she reach a building. For those who don't know, it's the smoke that kills, not the fire. Steve James said. Either way, the whole of them dead in there. That's the sad part. But yeah, that's why I'm not put nothing past nobody. All when them right under your eyesight, so you're right in front of you. And you'll be like, no, they were just shaking hands and hugging really close. No, I'm just slip it in right then. I don't know. I don't know. Anyhow, hi, mommy. You up? You up? Say hi and bye.
Hi.
Say hi and bye.
Bye.
You know, daddy can't have them kind of talk here with you around. Papa, you good? Come say hi.
Hi.
I love you. Are you reading the comments? Are you looking at yourself?
Percy.
Go, mommy. Daddy coming. I'll be out in a minute, okay? All right. And close the door for me, Papa. Let your sister out first and then close the door. I'll be out in a minute. Thank you, Pop. All right. Let's breeze through this last article, and this is where we're going to end it for the morning. And I'm going to say what I have to say after. Thank you, Audrey Wright. So, Vybz Kartel has been subject to extreme inhumane conditions while he's in prison. And this is according to his attorney, Isaac Buchanan, right? Isaac Buchanan gave an exclusive statement to Urban Islands, but I think he gave an exclusive statement to Fox 5 News, which I watched, and then Urban Island took that. So in which he claimed that Vybz Kartel, who is in ill health, as he said, was being subjected now to 23 hours of solitary confinement per day, which claims made its way to the media Thursday, May 25th. He was being used by Buchanan to argue the dancehall legend to argue his case before the courts. I don't know why they wrote it like that. The concerns are twofold, he said. The Department of Corrections does not have adequate facilities to care for persons with ill health while incarcerated as a guest of the state. He said to the outlet, Mr. Palmer, which is Vybz Kartel, is under private treatment at his own expense, and it is within the knowledge of prison officials that his health is a major concern at this point. They know, they don't care. He continued by saying, to be placed under a 23-hour lockdown as an appellant, because Vybz Kartel is an appellant, he was granted the right to an appeal, therefore he becomes an appellant, right? Where it puts your case in, okay, you were convicted, but you have been granted an appeal, so you're in another space until that appeal is decided. Right. So his medical condition requires access to clean air. Breathing is essential to life, and that's common sense. It is inhumane punishment to execute this form of punishment on Vybz Kartel, or Mr. Palmer, he calls him, and others, given the state of the prisons. An Instagram post that was made on Vybz Kartel music page, which is cited as the recording labels page, echoed the same claim that was made by his attorney, adding that the artist's life was in danger. Since Tuesday, the superintendent at Tower Street Correctional Center, Superintendent Campbell, has given strict orders to have Adidja Palmer, aka Vybz Kartel, under 23 hours lockdown in a poorly ventilated cell, despite his failing health, at the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center, as a form of apparent draconian style punishment, is what he said. Vybz Kartel's family also gave an exclusive statement to the outlet claiming that the Perfect Summer artist, you know him have a song out called Perfect Summer, or them write them article here. But anyhow, claiming that he is being subjected to this treatment because the prison guards allegedly found contraband, which is a cell phone, in the cell block in which he is housed. It wasn't found on his persons. I saw some, you have a set of people out here, right, that they are vloggers per se, but they carry their own agenda kind of thing. Let me say this. I don't give a damn if he's the best artist in the world or he's my favorite artist or not. Had that case gone to court fairly and he was convicted on solid evidence, I would have had to have lived with that. And I would have said, well, your music good, but me can't say clearly where you did what they said you did. So out you go. That wasn't the case. But there are people out there who have their agenda. So there are people out there who put out video that says them rush. They do their video. Yo, welcome back, my peeps, and this and that. Well, yo, them rushing a Vybz Kartel cell the other day and find the cell phone pan him. And that me I tell you, and now them lock him down. And that's not the case. Not even the police report says that. It says that a search was conducted by a team on the cell block in which he is housed, and a cell phone was found in that cell block. It wasn't found in his cell, it wasn't found on his person, but he was selected for 23 hours lockdown, right? Okay. Vybz Kartel family also gave the exclusive interview and saying that they picked him out. They singled him out. There are people that are from behind the bars that are saying, yo, them not like him in here because them say him too bossy or him to show off. Because him there behind bars, but him still a make money and him name still big. You see him little youth, little Addy, no, Little Vybz. Little Vybz just purchased a brand new Mercedes Benz for himself, and he did a video on it talking about his new music project that's coming out, and he's talking about, you know, he's worried for his father and his father's health, but his father groomed them, and put them on a path to success. So this was a come up for him. Like every birthday, his father gifts him another piece of property. Not only that, his own music is bringing him places around the world, and he's receiving income from it, enough to be able to purchase a new Mercedes Benz. Like I told y'all before, Kartel broke the code. Okay, he broke the code. His children aren't children that are out here with hands out. Lord, my daddy, they are prison 11 years now, everything gone, you know, and we are suffer, begging or something, right? So is a man where well outspoken. He's not the type to bow, and he is very proud, kind of thing. You know, some people are gonna say, boy, the situation when you're in a sometime, if you shut your mouth, you know, and just deal with what them and make you deal with. And he's like, no, I'm not. Because them will kill me at one time alone, them can kill me. But I have to speak up, kind of thing. He's that kind of person. Seeing as we've all seen him to be. So, strangely enough, in addition to the hundreds of cell phones that are found daily at the institution, now that part of the article, them say hundreds of cell phones found daily. I saw pictures of cell phones that were found. And me did I wonder if somebody heap up a bunch of cell phone and took a picture and made it look like that. Because my next thought is, how the hell they get so many cell phones in there? I don't know, one cell phone, you know, people. It's not no two cell phones, you know. It's not no 1 dozen cell phone, you know. And I like say a 12 phone and you can say, damn, that's a lot. Me I talk about one whole pile of phone, you know. But he's singled out for the one phone, though. Just like the same analogy I used earlier, over 12,000 murders in the 11 years he's been gone, but he's blamed for all of them, even though I'm never there road, right? And they're only concerned about the one murder what they claim that he committed, which he's appealing and fighting, saying he did not. So anyhow, strangely enough, in addition to the hundreds of cell phones that were found daily at the institution, thousands at lockup across the island. Thousands of cell phones are found if you should gather up all the phones found from all the jails and prisons across the island. They seem to have an ill will against Vybz Kartel only, a representative for the family said. Now, while an independent report produced by the Death Penalty Project in London revealed that Jamaican prisons are notoriously less sanitary and that extreme punishment are often meted out with minor transgressions, Buchanan has a bit of a controversial reputation in Jamaica. So now they're going to talk about Paula Llewellyn calling up Isaac Buchanan and attacking him, which is Vybz Kartel's attorney. And for me, that is also, hey, I'm going to go after you. I'm going to go after who represents you. I'm going to try to paint a bad picture of you any which way I can. I know you have an appeal. I know your case is still sitting at Privy Council. It is my duty to make sure that you are viewed as a demon, that you are viewed as a future threat, that you are viewed in a way where they will say, no, it's justifiable to have you locked in the way that we have you locked in. The last thing they want to hear is that case was botched. It's thrown out and Vybz Kartel gets to walk. So I'll close this by reiterating what I said in a video before. The plan is to kill Vybz Kartel behind bars. It's a bold statement, but it's true. They can't kill him by just, you know, some people say, SouFLo, you talk foolishness. Because if them they want to kill him, them just tell a man round if you stab him up long time. You all know that ain't how it go. I know saw it go. Down a road, down a jail. I know saw it go. Right? And not only that, there will be huge consequences to pay if he is harmed behind bars. Big war are gonna broke out on the street. Right? And some people who are in positions of power are going to get touched. Whether it's the guard them that work behind there. Jamaica small, you know. That's what the other day I'm watching a report, day before yesterday, and JCF was doing a ceremony about, in honor of 50 police officers that have died in the last couple months alone. When me see it, I said to myself, say, 50 police get slapped away in that small period of time. Like, obviously, the news doesn't cover it every time one dies, because I wasn't aware of that. Them are dead like fly. But this is Jamaica for you. 50. But this is Jamaica for you. We have something called, if you can't catch Quacker, you catch him shot. That means that, hey, Mr. Officer, everything cool enough, but I know where your daughter go to school at. I know where your wife work, and I know where your rascal house there too. So it's just a matter of time, yeah? And then things spill over. Cartel can't get taken out behind bars like just murder him straight up. They have to make it look like it's a natural process that has something to do with his failing health. That way, they can look back and say, well, you know, him get a life sentence, and 11 years, 12 years into his life sentence, he passed away from Graves' disease, complications, and a heart problem, which he's always had, right? And what they're trying to do at the moment is to exacerbate those medical issues that he is having. Lock him in somewhere that's poorly ventilated and filled with dust. Keep him in there for as long as they can. His attorney is saying that his eyes are bulging now again, protruding, and that's why you see him wearing the dark glasses all the time and all these kind of things. They know, they're aware of what's going on with him. They see his health going downhill, but they want just that to happen because they know. So Privy Council, remember, I know when they said to Cartel, yep, this is it for your case. Take it. Cartel said, hurry up and do or not do. Make we can't go England because no justice not in this court here, right? When you convict me with tampered evidence, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. It wasn't like he was quiet and he was like, yes, I thank you, I'm sorry, I humbly. He was like, yeah, hurry up and do or not do. But me can't go England. So once it reached England, Vybz Kartel ordered murders from behind bars. This was in the Klansman One Dan gang trial on its on cell phone. Me listen out the whole of the cell phone note them. Not one time Cartel name don't call in there, but the accusation was already made. And people already ran with it, saying, look how many videos on YouTube that says Vybz Kartel was ordering murders behind bars. See, once they make these accusations, demonize him, knowing that majority of our people, they don't care to do no research, to follow up no story, to see if it was true what was said. Them just run with it. Just like what the Mr. Ellington, who was the commissioner of police, highest office for law enforcement in the land, got on television and said, Vybz Kartel is responsible for, is a gang leader, is responsible for a gang that's responsible for over 100 murders across the island. And up to this day, them can't even find not one that he's responsible for. But they're responsible for 100 murders across the island. And people run with it. Him is a mass murderer. Left him make him stay in there, which part him there. They know how to use the media to play the people, and they know how the people are. Enough of them not too bright and don't care to be, because now we are in what we call dunce and proud times. Anyhow, I will leave this one right here. I said what I said. It is what it is, but we'll keep our eyes on it. So for those of you who are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and then hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time we update any of these stories that we cover. And I'll catch you tomorrow right here on Morning Thoughts with myself, SouFLo. Like my granny say, if God spare my life. Walk good, people. Keep the conversation going. You see you later here. I'm out. Peace.